Methods of demand forecasting. There are different methods to forecast the demand. The most important or the first method in a demand forecasting is survey method. The first one is survey method. Survey means that is to collect the information. By the help of that is to collect the information from the public is called as a survey. So in survey method, the first method is survey of buyers intention. Survey of buyers intention. So in survey of buyers intention, this is the most effective method because the buyers is the ultimate decision makers and we are collecting the information directly from buyers. We are collecting the information from directly buyers. So that is in survey of buyers intention. We collect the information from directly buyers because the buyers are the immediate ultimate decision maker. That is for estimating the demand or for producing the product in future. It is completely depending upon the buyers purchasing or buyers taste and preference, or that is a purchasing capacity of the buyers. So that is to collect the information from the buyers is called as a survey of buyers intention. So in survey of buyers intentions, that is the buyers collecting the information from the buyers by two types of methods. The first one is census method and the second one is sample survey method. First one is census method and second one is sample survey method. First method is also called as a census method or total enumeration method. Census method or total enumeration method. In this method, if the company wishes to elicit the opinion of buyers, that is to collect the information from all the buyers is called as a census method. It is very costly and time consuming method. That is if the company collect the information from all the buyers, it is called as a census method. For example, if the company have 1 lakh customers, so it collect the information from all the 1 lakh customers. Or if the company have 10,000 customers, it collect the information from all 10,000 customer. Depending upon this data, that is depending upon the customer's opinion, to estimate the future demand is called as a census method or total enumeration method. In this method, that is it is very costly and time consuming because to collect the data from all the customers, so it takes more time to collect the information from all the buyers. And at the same time, for collecting the information from all the buyers, that is the company provide sales for the company provide the employees or company appointed the employees and their expenses of for collecting the information is very expensive. So this is called as a costly or time consuming method. Next type of buyer's intention method is sample method. In this sample method, the firm can select a group of buyers who can represent the whole population. So it is very faster and lower cost method. The company collect the information from the buyers, but it does not collect the information from each and every buyer. In this sample survey method, all the customers are not important in collecting the data in this method. So it collect the information from selected group of buyers. Selected group of buyers means that is the buyers which give the information, which represent the whole population and they give the accurate information. So those buyers are called as a samples, are considered as a samples. So this is called as a sample survey method. So in this method, if the company have 10,000 customers, it collect the information from only 100 customers. Or if the company has 1 lakh customers, it collect the information only 1,000 or 10,000 customers. That is it collect the information from a selected group of customers. So it is very faster and lower cost method. but it does not give the correct information when comparing to census method. That is, in the census method, each and every buyer's opinion is collected, so it gives a correct, very exact information. But in sample survey method, that is to collect the information from a selected samples, so that is the, it is not give in some situations, that is a sample survey does not give correct information for estimating the future demand. Next method in a survey method is in next method in a survey method. The first one is survey of buyer's intention, and second one is a Salesforce opinion method. Salesforce opinion method. So in this Salesforce means sales representative. Salesforce means sales representative. To collect the opinion of a sales representatives or salesmen, that is called as a Salesforce opinion method. After the buyers, the ultimate decision makers are salesmen or sales representatives, because they are very closely contact with the customers. Closely contact with the customers. So they know about the opinion of the customer and their taste and preference of the customer, and at the same time, that is what is the opinion of customer about a particular product. So that is the next type of method is Salesforce opinion method. In this Salesforce opinion method, to collect the opinion of a salesman or sales representative, the salespeople are those who can in constant touch with the main and large buyers of circular market. The sales force is capable of assessing the likely reactions of customers of their territories quickly given the company's marketing strategy. That is, they quickly gives the company's marketing strategy. So these both are the survey methods. So first one is a survey of buyer's intention, and second one is Salesforce opinion method. Second type of the method in demand forecasting is statistical method. Statistical method. In this method, that is, if you estimate the demand in long run, statistical and mathematical methods are very useful for estimating the demand in long run. The statistical and mathematical methods are very useful. If you use these statistical and mathematical methods are called as a statistical method. The first type of method in demand forecasting with the help of a statistical method is trend projection method. Trend projection method. These are generally based on past sales pattern. These are generally based on past sales pattern. These methods are dispensed with the need for costly market research, because the necessary information is already available in company files. In these, there are 5 main techniques in this method. In trend projection method, there are 5 main techniques. Mainly, the trend projection method is depending upon the company's past data. Company's past data or company's past files are very helpful in a trend projection method. It is depending upon the past 3 years or 2 years or 4 years data to estimate the next year demand is called as a trend projection method. The main 5 techniques in a trend projection method are: first one is trend line by observation method. Trend line by observation method. This method is easy and quick. It involves merely the plotting the actual sales data on a chart and then estimating just by observation where the trend line lies. That is the first one in trend line by observation method. In this method, just we plot the past data on a chart, and next, that is, we estimate the future demand. That is called by observing the past data to estimate the future demand. That is called as a trend line by observation method. For example, that is if this is a first year data, this is a second year data, this is a third year data, this is the fourth year data. So if you observe these lines, that is in first year data, that is after the first year, the second year demand decreases, the third year demand increases, fourth year demand increases. So we estimate that is in fifth year the demand also increases. So the type of estimating the demand for a product is called as a trend line by observation. Least squares method. In least squares method, certain statistical formulas are used to find trend line which best fits the available data. That is, certain statistical formulas are used to find trend lines which best fits the available data. It is assumed that there is a proportional change in sales over a period of time. In such case, the trend line is linear form. The trend line is linear form. If you observe this trend line least square method, S is equal to x plus y into t. S as a sales, T as a number of years, X and Y as a past data. That means the sales of a demand, that is a future demand for a product, is depending upon the past data into number of years. So next method in a statistical method is in a trend line by observation method. Sorry, in trend projection method. The third type of a trend projection method is time series analysis. The major components are in time series analysis, that is depending upon the time to analyze the future data is called as a time series analysis. In time series analysis, we considered about different factors. That is in time series analysis, not only the past data, different factors of demand also very important for estimating the future demand. That is called as a time series analysis depending upon the factors of demand. What are the different factors of demand are the major components in time series analysis are: first one is trend. The first one in time series analysis is trend. It is also called as the long term trend. It is the result of basic development in population, capital formation, technology. It is decisive factor in long range forecasting. Long range forecasting trend is also called as a long term trend. It is a result of basic development in population, capital formation and technology. It is a decisive factor in long run forecast. That means the trend means that is there is a different changes in technology, in population and capital formation. That is nowadays, that is by changing the trend, the demand for a particular product also changes. So that is called as a trend. Second one, cyclic trend. It is seen as the wave-like movement of sales. Wave-like movement of sales. This is related to business cycle in economy such as inflation or recession. In inflation, price of the product goes up and demand slows down. If you observe the cyclic trend, so cyclic trend means that is it is like as a business life cycle. That is the in business life cycle there are different stages such as a initial stage, maturity stage, saturation stage, declining stage, or recession or boom stages. That is in these are the different stages in a business life cycle as a inflation or recession or boom. So these are the stages. So depending upon this business cycle, the wave like movement in sales appear. This is called as a cyclic trend. This is related to business cycle in economy such as inflation or recession. If the company is in inflation, so the price of the product goes up and demand slows down. Depending upon the business life cycle, the demand for the product changes, so that is called as a cyclic trend. If the company's business or if the product life cycle is in a boom stage, so automatically the demand for the product is high. If it is in a initial stage, that is the demand for the product has a chance for increasing in future. And if it is in a maturity stage, so that is there are the chances for increasing the demand in future. So such type of estimation in demand by the help of a business life cycle is called as a cyclic trend. Next one is seasonal trends. Seasonal trends, it help in within the year sales moment. The season, that is it helps in within the year sales moment. It is very helpful for short term demand estimation. So in short term, the seasonal components are a weather factor, holidays, festivals. So these are all the seasonal trends. So depending upon this factor to estimate the future demand. So if you observe the seasonal trends, that is the demand for the umbrella is very high in rainy season when comparing to winter or summer season, and woolen cloths demand is high in winter season when comparing to other seasons. So that is the demand for the product changes depending upon the seasons. And next of all, that is if you compare to 1 month sales to another month's sales, if particularly if in 1 month if holidays are occur, automatically the shops are closed, so the demand for the product decreases. And if 1 month have, that is if particularly in some seasons, that is different festivals are occur, so the demand for the product increases because that is in particularly the customers are ready to purchase the product, more and more products in a festivals. So that is called as a seasonal trend. So depending upon these all factors, the demand for the product changes when comparing to 1 month to another month, or one season to another season. Next, erratic trend. Erratic trends are the results from the sporadic occurrence. That is the results of from the sporadic occurrence of strike, riots, and so on. These are the in erratic trends. We also considered about the different type of environmental disasters. The environmental disaster also affect the demand for the product. Particularly if there are the different type of earthquakes, floods, these are all occur, so automatically that is the customer have very less income, so the demand for the product decreases. That is called as a erratic trend. In erratic trend, that is it is a result from the sporadic occurrence of strike, riots, and different type of environmental disasters. For example, in erratic trends, if you take as a Gujarat earthquake incidents, in particularly that is after the Gujarat earthquakes, the demand for the steel or cement increases, because that is after the earthquake, by collapsing the number of buildings, the customers purchase more iron or steel and cement, because for reconstructing the buildings, and at the same time that is to repair their houses. So in this situation, the demand for the product increases suddenly. So these are all called as a erratic trend. So that is, if you analyze about this, y is equal to t, that means trend, cyclic, seasonal, and erratic. The sales for the product depends, or the 1 year sales depends upon trend, cyclic, seasonal, and erratic. Next type of the method is in a statistical method is moving averages method. This method consider the average of past events determine the future event. That is the moving years past events determine the future events. That is called as a moving averages method. For example, if you want to estimate the fourth year demand, that is the fourth year demand estimation depends upon S1, that means first year demand, plus S2 second year demand, plus S3 third year demand by 3, that is called as a S4 is equal to S1 plus S2 plus S3 by 3. S4 is equal to S1 plus S2 plus S3 by 3. This is called as a moving averages method. Next of all is exponential smoothing. Exponential smoothing method. It is used for short-run forecast. It is very helpful for estimating the short-run demand for a product. It is an important over moving averages method. It is an important over moving averages method. The value of a given variable is in recent times are given higher weightage and values of a given variable in distant past are given relatively lower weights for further processing. That is called as a exponential smoothing. The value of given variables in recent times are give higher weightage and value of given variable in distant past are given relatively lower weightage for further processing. That is in demand estimation we give importance to a near past when compare distinct past. That is a in exponential smoothing it depends upon the variables. So in exponential smoothing st plus 1 is equal to cst plus 1 minus c into SMT. C is considered as a smoothing constant. This to give higher weightage to the most recent informations. C varies between 0 and 1. C is the most recent information. So we give importance to this C. It is in between 0 and 1. ST plus 1 exponential smoothed average for new year. That is a for next year, that is a for new year demand estimation we take as a ST plus 1. ST is equal to actual data in the most recent past. It is the actual data in the most recent past. SMT is equal to most recent smoothed forecast. Most recent smoothed forecast. So these are the demand estimation in exponential smoothing. That is ST plus 1 is equal to CST plus 1 minus C into SMT. So in this exponential smoothing method, that is to estimate the future demand by the help of a recent past data or recent past data's variable is called as a exponential smoothing method. Next one is barometric techniques method. In a statistical method, the second one is a barometric techniques method. In a statistical method, the first one is a trend projection method. In trend projection method, different type of methods are trend line by observation, least square method, time series analysis, moving averages method, and exponential smoothing. And the second one is in statistical method, barometric techniques. In this, one set of data is used to predict another set. That is, one set of data is used to predict another set. That is for estimating the another set data. that is to consider the one set data is called as a barometric technique. For example, the demand for cable TV is linked to number of houses or number of new houses occupied in a given area during the year. The demand for cable TV depending upon the number of new houses occupied in a given area during the year. Next method is in a statistical method, simultaneous equation method. In this simultaneous equation, all variables are simultaneously considered with conviction that every variable influences the other variable in an economic environment. Hence, the set of equations equal the number of dependent variables. That is, a set of equations equal the number of variables. It is better than regression method. It is a system of n equations with n unknowns. If you consider that is in a barometric techniques, that is the demand for cable TV is linked to new houses, but there is a chances, that is the number of demand for cable TV is also depending upon the number of number of TVs purchasing. If number of TV purchasing increases, automatically the cable connections increases. So that is, in this there are two variables for estimating the cable connection. There are the first variable is new houses and second variable is number of new TV purchasing. And if you take as a third variable is also, that is the income, the increasing the income of the customer. So at the same time, that is, if you take another variable as by decreasing the price of the cable connection or by increasing the price of the other TV connections. So like that is, if the product containing, for estimating the demand for a particular product, it depends upon, for estimating the demand for a particular product, it depends upon number of variables. So by plotting these number of variables, that is to estimate the future demand, is called as a simultaneous equation method. In simultaneous equations, that is depending upon the variable in economic environment, that is to give importance to a particular variable. So in cable connection example, that is that depending upon the economic environment or depending upon the situations, that is sometimes we take importance to a number of our new houses, and sometimes we estimate the demand depending upon the number of TV purchasing, and sometimes depending upon the income of increasing the income of the customer. So such like that is a variables are simultaneously considered with the conviction that every variable influence the other variable in economic environment. Hence the set of equations equal the number of dependent variable. Next type of method in a statistical method is correlation and regression method. Correlation describes the degree of association between two variables. When two variables tend to change together, then they are said to be correlated. They are measured by correlation coefficient. Correlation describes the degree of association between two variables. When two variables tend to change together, then they are said to be correlated. They are measured by correlation coefficients. If high value of one variable is associated with low value of another variable, it is said to be negatively correlated. If high value of one variable is associated with low value of another variable, it is said to be negatively correlated. For example, price and demand. Price and demand, that is a high value of one variable as price and low value of another variable is as a demand. That means that if the price increases, the demand decreases, and price decreases, the demand increases. So the relationship between price and demand is negatively correlated, because by increasing one factor it affects the decreasing on demand, another factor or another variable. If high value of one variable is associated with high value of another variable, it is said to be positively correlated. If high value of one variable is associated with high value of another variable, it is said to be positively correlated. Example, income and demand. When the income increases, the demand also increases. That is, if the customer income increases, that is the high value of one variable, the demand for the product also increases. This is the high value of another variable. That is, by increasing the income, the demand increases, or by decreasing the income of the customer, the demand also decreases. So the relationship between income and demand is called as a positively correlated. Where the functional relationship is analyzed with independent variable, it is simple correlation. The functional relationship is analyzed with independent variable, it is simple correlation. If there are several independent variable, it is called multiple times correlation. Or several independent variable, it is called multiple times correlation. In general, the correlation coefficient ranges between plus 1 and in between plus 1 and minus 1. The correlation relationship is in between plus 1 and minus 1. If correlation is 0, the variables are not related at all. Which best fits is the set of observations and independent and dependent variables. If the correlation is 0, the variables are not related at all, which best fits in the sets of observations of dependent and independent variables. The dependent or unknown variables is forecast based on independent means known variables. The unknown variables is forecast based on known variables is called as the observation and dependent, that is observation of dependent and independent variables. In case of more than one independent variable having significant effect upon dependent variable, multiple linear regression is employed. That is the when in case of more than one independent variable having significant effect upon dependent variable, multiple linear regression is employed. So this is the coefficient correlation method. That is, in coefficient correlation method, to estimate the demand depending upon the positive, negative or zero correlation, or depending upon the known variables and unknown variables, or dependent and independent variable. If you observe this dependent and independent variable, independent variable means that is the the demand for the product does not changes depending upon other factors, so that is called as a independent variable. If the demand for the product changes depending upon other factors or other variables, this is called as a dependent variable. So these are the statistical methods. The statistical methods are, first one, trend projection method. First one is a trend projection method, and second one is barometric techniques method, simultaneous equations method, correlation and regression method. So these are the different type of statistical methods. And next one is a other methods. Other methods are, first one, that is the expert opinion method. In expert opinion method, that is to take the opinion of a expert. Well informed persons are called as a expert. An expert is good at forecasting and analyzing the future trends in a given product or service. This method constitutes a valid strategy in case of new products if there is no other information. So expert to take the opinion of customer in some situations or in some cases, like as a if there is no past data is available in the company, if there is no past data available in the company files or there is no data in the company, so in these situations we depends upon the expert opinion method. In other methods of demand forecasting, the next method is test marketing. In test marketing, that is, it is likely that opinion given by buyers, salesman or other experts may be at times misleading occur. So in these situations, most companies, that is before they launch their new product in nationwide, they introduce the test marketing method in the organization for estimating the demand. So in this test marketing method, the entire product and marketing program is tired out for the time in small number of well chosen and authentic sales environment to know about whether the customer will accept the product or not. That is in test marketing, that is to introduce the product in a particular market or launch in a particular marketing strategy. So depending upon this, that is they estimate the demand for a new product. So this test marketing is very helpful, that is for launching the new product, and at the same time, that is if the product they have no past data. So in these situations, that is what quantity of product to be produced and what price to fix the product. So in this all situations we take the help of a test marketing. Next of all, that is controlled experimental method. Controlled experimental method is like that of a test marketing, but in this method the product is introduced with different packages with different prices in different markets or in same market to assess which combination appeals to కస్టమర్ మోస్ట్. అంటే ఇక్కడ మనకి కంట్రోల్ ఎక్స్పెరిమెంటల్ మెథడ్లో ఏంటంటే మనకి ఒక ప్రోడక్ట్ని ప్రొడక్షన్ చేసేటప్పుడు ఒక ప్రోడక్ట్ని మనం ప్యాకింగ్ చేసేటప్పుడు మనకి ఏది సేల్స్ అయ్యిద్ది, ఎంత క్వాంటిటీ అనేది ఎక్కువగా సేల్స్ అయ్యిద్ది. సో ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మనకి 100 గ్రామ్స్ ప్యాక్సా, లేదంటే 1 kg ప్యాక్సా, లేదంటే 10 kg బ్యాగ్సా. సో ఇలా ఏది మనకి మార్కెట్లో ఎక్కువ సేల్స్ అయ్యిద్దో మనం ఫైండ్ అవుట్ చేయాలి అన్న. నెక్స్ట్ మనం ఎలాంటి ప్రైస్ని కస్టమర్ యాక్సెప్ట్ చేస్తారు, ఎలాంటి ప్రైస్ని మనం ఒక ప్రోడక్ట్ మీద ఫిక్స్ చేస్తే కస్టమర్ యాక్సెప్ట్ చేస్తారు. సో ఇలాంటి దాన్ని మనం టెస్ట్ చేయడానికి లేదంటే ఇలాంటి డిమాండ్ని మనం ఎస్టిమేషన్ వేయడానికి హెల్ప్ఫుల్ అయ్యేదే మనకి కంట్రోల్డ్ ఎక్స్పెరిమెంటల్ మెథడ్ అనమాట. సో లాస్ట్ వన్ వచ్చేసరికి జడ్జిమెంటల్ అప్రోచ్ మెథడ్. సో ఇన్ జడ్జిమెంటల్ అప్రోచ్ మెథడ్, ఇఫ్ ఆల్ దీస్ మెథడ్స్ డస్ నాట్ గివ్ కరెక్ట్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ and it gives confused information to the marketing manager. So in this situation or production manager, in these situations, that is we take the help of a judgmental approach method. When none of the methods are directly related to give product, the management has no alternative other than using its own judgment. In judgmental approach method, it decision of the production or demand is depending upon the management of the organization. So that is depending upon his own judgment he take the decision. So that is called as a judgmental approach method. So ఇవన్నీ మనకి డిమాండ్ ఫోర్కాస్టింగ్లో డిఫరెంట్ టైప్స్ ఆఫ్ మెథడ్స్ అనమాట. మన డిమాండ్ని ఎస్టిమేషన్ వేయడానికి హెల్ప్ఫుల్ అయ్యే మెథడ్స్ అన్నీ ఇవన్నమాట. సో ఇవి డిమాండ్ ఫోర్కాస్టింగ్ మెథడ్స్ చూసేసరికి సర్వే మెథడ్, స్టాటిస్టికల్ మెథడ్ అండ్ అదర్ మెథడ్స్. సో ఈ సర్వే మెథడ్లో మనం సర్వే ఆఫ్ బయ్యర్ ఇంటెన్షన్ అని, సేల్స్ ఫోర్స్ ఒపీనియన్ అని తీసుకుంటాం అనమాట. సో అలాగే మనకి ట్రెండ్ ప్రొజెక్షన్ మెథడ్, అలాగే ఎక్స్పర్ట్ ఒపీనియన్ మెథడ్స్, ఇలాంటి అదర్ మెథడ్స్. సో వీటన్నిటిని మనం యూజ్ చేసి ఒక ప్రోడక్ట్ యొక్క డిమాండ్ని మనం ఎస్టిమేషన్ వేయడం. సో ఎప్పుడైతే మనం డిమాండ్ని ఎస్టిమేషన్ వేసామో దాన్ని తగ్గట్టుగా మనం రా మెటీరియల్ పర్చేస్ చేయడం కానీ, లేదంటే మనం అవుట్పుట్ని ప్రొడక్షన్ చేయడం కానీ, మనకి ఎక్సెస్ అవ్వకుండా అవుట్పుట్, అట్ ద సేమ్ టైం షార్టేజ్ అవ్వకుండా మనకి డిమాండ్ ఫోర్కాస్టింగ్ అనేది ప్రొడక్షన్ మేనేజర్కి హెల్ప్ఫుల్ అయ్యే మెథడ్ అనమాట.